We sure did.
Yay, because I just see reconnection successful. That's always fun.
Okay,
Um,
looks like her back.
yeah. So apparently we got disconnected there. All that happened was there was mention that in the Valley of the Ancients there could be a red dragon there, and that it would probably attack on sight. But it's usually a rare encounter. But since you just encountered a blue dragon, who knows? And the hand has returned to Roach. So you guys continue basically on your journey, and after you rest, basically this is the point where you're going to kind of switch gears and start to travel at night. So maybe a little bit after this, you actually stop to try and start to shift your sleep schedule and kind of get that working. And during this journey, during these days, he's told you some things about the Sand Folks and some of their traditions. And I think the thing that I'll tell you now about them is that they are known for taming. What are they called? Camarillas, which are lizard-like creatures. As my headphones unplugged, I was wondering what was going on there. I really need to set that up better so that doesn't keep happening. But lizard-like creatures with 6 legs. So they're rather large. Maybe even a similarity between like alligators, crocodiles, and large lizards. Basically, they got sharp teeth, good for munching on you. So it does explain that, and so you're aware of those as you continue. So you guys get that switched around. See, Roach, I guess you're still kind of on lookout duty during this trip.
Sure. Yeah. That's like I'm generally always looking out for something. I'm paranoid, but
Yeah.
I'll also, unless otherwise stated, be invisible.
So obviously, since the story is for you guys, the Baron and the brother are there, but they're kind of going to be in the background, and they'll come out to help and aid when necessary. So you guys can decide these set types of things. How do you want to travel? You can travel at normal pace. You can travel slower, which allows you to be more stealthy, right? Unless you're traveling slow, you can't like try and be sneaky as you're going, right? And then you could travel at a fast pace, which means that you're not going to be as likely to notice things.
Well, real quick before we decide that, I did want to bolster Roach and just give her, let's see, advantage one on perception.
Okay, so normally that wouldn't be an issue, but because this is kind of like for the entire span of time, it would be difficult to maintain that bolster for 16 hours.
Sure. Okay.
So you can attempt that, and what I'll do is I'll have you either roll your will or your fortitude to see if you're able to maintain that without exhausting yourself.
Okay. So roll bolster first, and then will or fortitude.
Oh, you don't need to roll for bolster because you got enough
Okay.
time that you'd be able to invoke that and give that advantage. But then roll your either your fortitude for your body being able to keep it going, or your will for your mental capacity to maintain the stress of that spell for that long. All right, so I'll give you two options. One, you're not able to maintain it, or two, you are able to maintain it, but you're going to take a level of fatigue. Which one level of fatigue, all that's going to do is give you disadvantage on non-combat things, basically.
If I notice that he's starting to look tired or anything like that, I'll ask him politely to hold off so he doesn't get there. Whether or not he does is up to him.
Actually, I was gonna say I am actually gonna use resilient.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. That's your
yeah.
perk?
So yeah, one of my
Okay.
perks, so I can automatically succeed a fortitude roll of is it less than or equal to 10 plus twice your fortitude score.
Okay. What is your fortitude score?
Um, 4.
Okay. So yeah, you'd be able to do that then. So what he's using for our viewers out there is in Open Legend, you have perks and flaws for your character. Perks are good things. So in this case, he's very resilient and he's able to push past what his body would normally be able to do because of his either his heritage or his training. In this case, I think it's your heritage, your dragonborn ancestry.
Yeah, we'll go a little bit with that, but also, protection fighter. There's a little bit of resilience.
Sure,
as well.
absolutely. So it is perks are limited, usually to either once per day or once per session or things like that. Which I think this one is like once per
session.
Once per session. So yeah, you're able to maintain. You start to feel that coming on, but you just you power on and push yourself through.
Cool.
So yeah, you can roll with an additional advantage now through the snoopers. So whenever it pops up, just add 1 to the default advantage through the legendary item.
Other than that, I think that we should be, I think normal pace because we're traveling at night, but what do you think?
Well, we do want to get there faster, so a fast pace would be good because they could be doing anything to brother's brother. But also, we don't want to get caught, so going at a slow pace is probably better there. So maybe a normal pace would be best, or slow, or I don't know.
I agree.
So mechanically wise, the only way that you can sneak while you're traveling is to go at a slow pace. You don't even have that option if you're going at a normal pace, and definitely not as a fast pace.
Yeah, I think that if Roach maybe goes a little bit ahead, scouts for us, normal pace shouldn't be overtly dangerous, at least less so than a fast pace, but
yeah, and at a normal pace, you should be able to get through 2 hexes a day, basically.
Luthka, I know you're really quiet normally, but do you have maybe any idea about what kind of looking out? I know you know a lot about the natural world. Do you see anything that would prevent us from being able to travel safely at a normal pace, or do you think we should go slower?
Do I? I wouldn't really know.
I mean, you might. You could try and see what you know about the natural surroundings.
Right, what role is that?
Just do a learning roll for your. Well, you could use logic to, based on what you do know, to try and figure out about the area. Otherwise, it would just be learning to reference past knowledge. It is sand, so you probably wouldn't want to go too quick of a pace because if you're rushing too fast and stuff through a desert, you could also overheat. Even though you're going at night, it'll be pretty cold at night. So being that you're traveling at night, it'll be less likely that you're spotted anyway. So it's almost like a natural way of hiding. So you'd probably be okay passing through this area at a normal speed.
Yeah, so basically just we want to be out of the desert area by the time sun rises.
That's very good to know. Definitely. Okay. Well then I guess a normal pace should be best, right?
Yeah.
Excellent.
all right. Everybody, baby bear option?
What?
Not too fast, not too slow, just right. Baby bear option.
Goldilocks and the 3 traveling speeds.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, you guys start to go. So, The whole reason I was establishing that is because I wanted to roll from Roach for your perception. So go ahead and roll with the snoopers. You have one additional advantage from the bolster. Ooh, wow.
Needed that.
Yeah. Those are some powerful rolls there. You didn't get above a
Powerfully
6.
powerful.
Yeah. You got any legend points you want to spend on it? I mean, 15's not terrible or anything.
I spent all my legend
but-
points in the last 2 sessions. I don't have any legend
okay.
points left. Unless you want to give me one for having my arm fall off at one time.
I mean, usually we do it at the end of the session, but you know, if you invoke one of your flaws during the session, that impacts in
I
a
wasn't
negative
near the
way.
explosion, though.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah, and for some of the people in chat, yeah, that's City of the Gods, DA3 right there. So you guys are traveling. It's, night has fallen. You're maybe 2 or 3 hours in, and you're walking along. What's your travel? Just for my own random curiosity, what's kind of your travel order? Who's maybe in front, maybe in back? Just random, pure random. All right, you're scouting ahead. Are you invisible while you're scouting ahead, or
Definitely invisible. Okay. And that's probably what's hindering me because I can't do my blind sight at the same time as invisibility.
Well, interestingly enough, remember the snoopers compensate for light.
Oh, I just have those on, period. Mm-hmm. That's
who
I am.
I mean, you don't have to, but that's why you got to roll with the snoopers, right?
I'm Belle's dad from now on.
Love it. I'd imagine Tally is probably somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd put Orion up front, so maybe like 40, 50 feet ahead is Roach. Behind that's Orion and the rest of the caravan.
So you walk over the spot. Maybe you notice a little bit more shifty of sand, and you keep going. And Orion, when you get to that same spot, the sand suddenly rises up around you. So let me grab. Oh gosh, I don't know if I saw that quickly accessible. It's been a while. Okay. So yeah, go ahead if you know how to drag your character onto the thing, and I'll place you guys, and then we'll get some initiative rolled.
I don't know how to drag my character.
No worries. You do just basically literally drag. If you select the name, you can do it. I'll pop. There you go. All right, so Roach, we'll put you as heading northward. So Orion, you're right there when you encounter it. We both drug you out at the same time there, Luthka. And you've got Glamis. Oh, and I need to grab. Here we go. Grab your 2 friends who are with you as well. All right, so you guys are kind of trudging along. I think the Baron's probably walking up with you as well, Orion. And you're probably a little bit further ahead than that, Roach, because you're scouting. And yeah, just, regular, everyday, nothing big or important, just kind of pops up directly in front of you. And do we have everybody? Oh, some people didn't have their... Oh, only one. Talia's the only one. So click on your token. And remember, in the top left, there'll be a little button that says initiative right by the toolbar. Oh, I need to link this to a sheet. Baron. There we go. this is Brother Richard. Yes, there we go. Oh, you know what? I just realized I haven't been playing any music. Man. Let's get something going here. All right, cool. So, is everybody on there? Luth Roach, Talia. Who are we missing? Orion? Did you roll initiative, Orion?
I did. It showed up in the chat area, but it didn't show up on the actual.
No worries.
So yeah, got a 30 for initiative.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Cool. There's this scary thing. Let's get Brother Richard. Oh, actually, I could have actually rolled their initiatives. Duh. All right. Quite the list here. So yeah, this thing basically rises up, and then immediately these sand flying fists swipe right at you, Orion. You are definitely surprised by this. So because of surprise, you are unable to do any defend interrupts or stuff like that.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I hit enter, but I don't see anything rolling. Did I add it? Okay, yeah, we'll just...
I see the creature roll. Is that what you're...
Oh, yeah, there it is. 25. So that's 25 versus your guard.
Yes, that hits.
All right, so you take 4 damage since your guard is 21. You are surprised. You try and maybe raise your shield up, but the sand swipes around, and you feel the sand scraping against your face as you barely manage to keep your shield, keeping a more lethal strike away from hitting you. And yeah, so all of you suddenly see this creature rise up. But Orion, you are ready to react. You're right there.
Okay. Let's go for persistent damage then.
Okay, so you're gonna try and inflict a bane on this creature.
Yeah, so essentially what I want to do is, it's sand. He's going to use his, I guess, draconic breath weapon and breathe some fire at him and see if we can turn him into some glass.
Okay. Wow. Oh, you rolled for the effect of persistent damage. You still need to inflict it. So you're going to use your energy to do it. So just roll your energy.
Okay.
Now, remember, in Open Legend, you can choose to do a focus action, which means you can't move and you can't do any minor actions. You sacrifice those in order to get an additional advantage to the roll you're doing.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
Just roll an additional d6. All right. Well, that's a little bit better. So yeah, you kind of breathe out, and you see some of the particles kind of go away, but it doesn't seem to have the effect you wanted on it. It does not seem like it did the glass effect you hoped it would.
Okay. And then as far as persistent damage, is that just...
Well, that's what I'm saying. You attempted to do persistent damage. It wasn't successful.
And it wasn't successful.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to beat their guard in this case, and 11 does not quite do that, unfortunately. All right, yeah. The Baron pulls out his sword. He's got and whips out a small little circular shield, and he is certainly going to attempt to slash at this beast. Oh, and I am in GM roll mode, so you guys did not see that. He did just roll a 32, though. So, he, however, you watch him. He slashes and swipes and does some flurries with his sword very effectively, and you see a lot of the sand throw away from this creature. It seems to be slightly diminished from that. And yeah, he makes the comment. He says, "My slashes do not seem as effective against this creature." Which anybody that knows DM talk at all might know what that means. All right. Okay. Glamis.
Yeah, Glomus does what Glomus does best, which is charge into things.
Awesome. So Glamis is going to run ahead and slam into this sand-like creature.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, well, he tries. He runs, and maybe sand gets in his eyes, and he kind of nosedives a little bit and gets back up. And, oh, wow, you rolled a 1 and a 2. Ouch. All right. Talia, what would you like to do?
Okay. Talia's very, very conflicted. She wants to help, but at the same time, she knows that she just feels really powerful right now. So she is going to use her energy to do a persistent damage attack on the creature.
So I will mention, since you're wanting to do persistent damage, if you beat their guard by 10 or more, you get to auto-inflict a bane of your choice if you're doing a damaging attack. And since it sounds like you're wanting to use your divine favor,
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
then you'd get that. So it'd probably be better for you in this case to do a damaging attack with your energy and let the damage exceed so that you end up being able to inflict persistent damage on it as well.
Okay. I will do that then. So just roll energy.
So yeah, just roll your energy and you're going to add that plus 20 divine favor result, basically exploding the d20.
So no advantage or disadvantage. So 45.
Okay, yeah, I mean, you kind of barely managed to hit. No, yeah, that does quite a bit. 45.
So Talia, after kind of hemming and hawing a little bit, oh no, what do I do? And just kind of thrust her hands forward, and out shoots those golden ribbons of light energy, which just go and surround it. And she's trying to, she's going to try to kind of hurt it and see if she can also turn it into glass with a different type of energy.
What is your energy score?
Energy is 6.
Okay, so power level 6, which is okay. Yeah, so you effectively do that, and some of your fire is like continuing to flare and fuse some of the sand together. You watch a very effective attack, Orion, from Talia. You just feel the energy coming through behind you.
Rush past your head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Baron says, he also says, "Ha ha! Excellent move." All right. Roach, what would Roach like to do in this situation?
I'll hear stuff going on behind me. I'll slow down and look over my shoulder. Be careful not to make any noises, and then make like a little juke move, and then head back this direction. To there.
All right.
And then, with one very natural seeming motion, go for the daggers at my thighs, whip them out, spin them, give them a chuck.
All right. Let's see what happens.
I should be at 0 advantage.
Okay. Well, I was about to say the creature is unaware of you, so you'd have advantage from
That's
surprise.
included.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
I no longer have a deadly dagger or whatever. So you've got the being invisible, you've got the surprise from lethal strike, and then you've got the multi-attack.
All right. So what happens is your first dagger looks like it's like true and straight, but like some of the sand just happens to part at the right moment. Like you feel like that should have hit, but for some reason it's maybe just a little bit tougher. 29, however, does hit. You deal 5 damage. I don't know if you have any. You don't have any Bane focus feats, though. I don't think so.
No, not
But you do deal lethal damage to it as a result, which you deal 5 because you deal up to 5 lethal. Okay, yeah, it howls in pain. Is there anything else you can do or that you want to do?
direly hope it does not come this direction because I have used up all of my movement.
Sure. Oh, actually, you do deal more damage because you're invisible. It can't see you, so its guard is reduced by 2 versus you.
3.
So by 3?
By 3.
All right, so you deal 3 more damage to it. All right, Brother Richard, seeing this happen, seeing the attack happen, he's going to hold up his hands, and he's holding out, he's got a holy symbol in his hand, and he does a little bit of chanting. He's going to focus on this. Oh, wow. He exploded on the D20. Yeah, so basically Peshwa, the Baron, Orion, Glamis, and Luthka. Talia looking like she's going to be staying in the back. He doesn't do this for you, but basically he gives you resistance to this energy sand-like attack that this creature seems to be doing. So your guards, he did get the highest possible. Let me double check because I can't remember if he has access to the higher level. 7, yeah. So you guys get +9 against this types of creatures' attack to your defenses. So that's pretty darn good. Luthka, it's your turn.
I'm gonna go dig a hole in this creature.
All right.
Claw attack.
Uh, 12 is not enough to hit this creature. You do feel like your mighty blows are as effective as they should be. It's just your aim is a little off.
Right. So far, not really doing much to this thing.
Unfortunately, your rolls are not the highest tonight, it would seem. Or it's not tonight, it's the morning. All right, so what I need is for Talia to roll an exploding D8 for that persistent damage as it flares up.
Three.
So a couple things happen. The energy attack flares up and the creature just glassifies and melts and just drops to the ground. But you hear sand rising in 2 other locations as one pops up here and one pops up here on their turn. But you only have 2 instead of 3 to deal with now. So one pops up right next to you, Roach. I guess you moved, so they might have sensed you moving. So I'll give them a perception roll real quick to see if they realize you're standing right next to them. Roll your agility with your advantage from invisible.
I don't think I beat him.
Yeah, so maybe you cry out a little bit, maybe you yelp as this thing just rises up next to you, and so it kind of turns to face you.
It hears my clothing shift.
And it kind of swipes out. Now your guard still is increased versus this attack because of invisible, because it can't quite lock in on your location, right?
It's 20 right now, yeah.
All right. Well, let's see what it does. So minimum damage, so you take 3 damage as it kind of slices into you. Let me make it clear that this guy is dead. And then the other one, Brother Richard kind of turns as this thing appears, and it kind of stomps forward and attempts to lash into Brother Richard. $17. What is... Oh, Brother Richard has really good armor. So he kind of takes the blow unexpectedly. And Orion, it is your turn. Talia has melted this creature in front of you, but you're aware of the 2 other ones that are now nearby. It's dim light because it's nighttime, right? But the stars are out and stuff like that, so it's not a bright situation in your area, but you can still make out where the creatures are.
Okay. All right. I think I'm going to try to demoralize the sand person to the bottom left, the one that's by Brother Richard.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going to shout out to him, hey, you Spider-Man 3 reject. Be gone!
Yeah, so you definitely demoralize. How much can you do at you're doing it with 5, so disadvantage 1.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure you're aware of it. Provoke does a similar type of thing, but incurs more disadvantage. So provoked is, trying to get them to focus on you, and if they don't include you in the attack, it gives them disadvantage on any of their attacks. So I don't know if you'd rather do that versus demoralized. You can still do demoralized, but
Yeah.
so provoked at power level 5 does disadvantage 2 on all attacks, basically. So they'd have disadvantage 2 versus disadvantage 1.
Okay. Yeah, but that's using my creation, so I'd have to reroll.
You can use might to do provoked.
Okay.
Now, if your creation's higher, then you can get like power level 6, which is disadvantage
same.
3. Okay. So yeah,
Okay.
it's up to you.
Yeah, actually, I will do provoke then. Do you want me to reroll for it?
No, you don't need to reroll because it'd
Okay.
be the same roll, so that's fine.
So, yeah, let's go
Now a 27 beats their resolve score by quite a lot, so I'm going to give it potent as an effect because you were so effective with your provoking of it that it now has disadvantage to try and not be provoked by you.
Not Spider-Man 3, no!
Says, I
Really
thought I was
upset
good in
about
that
that.
movie. No, it definitely does not say that, but it is. You have broken its back at your provoking taunts.
Deep down, we do know that Sandman was the stronger plot point, stronger than Venom, but just not going to right now.
Yeah, so the Baron's going to definitely charge forward. He's going to come over on this side of Brother Richard to try and get some synergy and get some flanking going on there. And yeah, he'll do what he does, which is attack. 5 because of flanking. Wow. Why can't I roll like this when I attack you guys? Okay, so he is very effective with his slicing. Let's see. I'm not wanting to do math this morning, so let's... All right. Yeah, that is an effective blow. He is going to cause that to sting. He's going to stun this creature with such an effective strike as he slices into this thing. So Glamis has 2 targets here. What is Glamis going to do?
Sorry.
Your guys' cameras got swapped on me.
Yeah,
Did you disconnect?
No, I turned my camera off for a bit. Someone
Oh, okay.
I guess just tries to charge at the one next to Roach.
Okay.
So let's hope that this one does a bit better. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a lot better. All right, and you get so that's 12. All right, so yeah, you deal 12 damage to it, so you can inflict a Bane. With Might, you can do Stunned, you could do Knockdown, which I think is what you kind of flavor as doing anyways, right?
Yeah, it would be knockdown.
Yeah, so this creature kind of falls to the ground slightly in its sand form, rolling a little bit, which makes it a little easier for you to hit Roach while it's on the ground in melee. Harder for a ranged attack. All right, Talia. Sand creature has just appeared to your left.
I'm gonna try to hit it with energy again, because Talia saw that it worked really well last time. She doesn't know that I was gifted.
Right.
But it worked really well. So I'm gonna do that. Essentially, I'm just gonna do the same thing again.
Okay.
Probably not.
No, that's not enough to hit in that case. Roach, what would you like to do?
She's gonna move back a little bit.
Okay, yeah, you can move.
Yeah, I'm just gonna move over here-ish because she doesn't want to be right next to that thing. It looks like it hurts.
Go ahead and roll your logic real quick for me.
Oh gosh.
You realize it has really long arms, and it can probably reach you right now, and if you step back, it might be able to take a swing at you while you step back. Do you still want to step back?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's still gonna try to step back.
It looks like it actually considers attacking you, but the recent strike from the Baron causes it to shake its head, and then you're already stepped back. So it does not choose to take an attack of opportunity against you. Roach, you're standing over a somewhat fallen sand creature construct
Thing.
Elemental. Yeah.
So okay, this is what happened. It popped up beside me, and then for a second, I was like, okay, relax, I can't see you. But then its massive fist clobbered me right in the side, and it hurt quite a bit. And now I'm standing next to this thing, knowing that it can at least sense me, and I'm alone. And I look back at my buddies, and everybody's like ganging up on this one and fighting the good fight. And I'm like, and I can't say anything because I need to maintain my invisibility and sneakiness. But I'm like, come on, what am I, chopped liver? And then here comes this little, not little, 4 foot tall, 5 foot tall, something like that. This boar that looks like
it's
a
not as big as Talia.
Okay, yeah, this person-sized pig comes barreling through, and for a second, I lose all sense of time, and my heart hurts, and I can't believe that this little dude who I thought was with the bro that hated me is gonna come and save me now. So I get recharged and reinvigorated with some kind of fighting spirit, and I'm like, okay, buddy, we got this. and do it again where I pull out the second set of daggers and try to slash up at it as I go.
Okay. And so you have an additional... Well, actually, its guard is 2 less because it is prone.
All right. Make sure that I got all of it. Yep.
Now, I will mention... If you positioned yourself here, you would technically have flanking from Glamis, which would be another advantage.
I thought that we were not doing flanking.
Oh, are we not going to do flanking?
I thought that's what we discussed at session 0.
It might be. I might just be forgetting.
Because I remember thinking, oh, yes, that'll be much simpler.
Okay. So 18 is enough to inflict minimal damage against this thing because of it being prone. Which minimum damage is 3. So you do that twice, though. So you deal 6 to it.
I'm going to call over to Glomus. Don't stay here! And then take a couple of steps back. I say couple, I mean a lot.
Right. It kind of flails around as it gets struck. Unhappy with this. Brother Richard, while he does not like being next to this thing, he pulls out his mace. He is capable of attacking with this thing for sure. .24. So yeah, he smashes down with his mace. It kind of seems to sing through the air as sand sprays from the impact of this hit. C6. Cool. And Luthka, what would you like to do? You see Glamis is now...
Yeah, I'll help Glamis out. And another claw attack here. Don't really see much of an advantage of going animal form on these things in particular.
Sure. Yeah, they both seem like they've been hurt pretty decently recently. Yeah, that definitely hits. It happens to be minimum damage in this case, but you still connect. Your connections definitely seem to do as much damage as you expect them to do, compared to some of the more precise attacks the others are doing. All right, it is their turn. Well, this one is going to get up from prone, shift a little bit, and... Oh, actually, no, you deal more than minimum damage because it was prone. And then it is going to actually try and attack both of you. It swings... It raises both fists up, it kind of roars out and slams them down, one towards each of you. So that's only 23 versus your... except both of your cards are increased by 9 because of Brother Richard. So I don't think those hit. Or do they? Oh, looks like I don't have Glamis linked up. Let me fix that. All right, so your guard is normally 14, so it just barely manages to hit you, Luthka, so you take 3 damage. And likewise, it barely manages to get past the extra defense that's swirling around both of your bodies from this divine energy, just barely piercing. So yeah, each of you, Luthka and Glamis, both take 3 damage each.
Was I supposed to be at 26 out of 28 before this?
You should have been max.
Okay.
I don't think you had anything that would have had you reduced. And you hadn't been hit yet, so... all right, this one, he is stunned. I don't think he's smart enough to do that. He did get hit really hard by the Baron, so he's going to try and attack the Baron. Not realizing he might not be as effective at that. So he has disadvantage 2, so he has no advantage from being provoked. Yeah, he like before his fists or claws even hit the Baron, where the Baron would need to use his shield, the divine energy crackles and sends. So you guys see the claw like try, and then it's just hitting this invisible force, and his hand just gets thrown back as the creature tries to attack the Baron ineffectively. All right, Orion, it is your turn once more.
Okay, I'm going to try another energy attack at the one that's flanked by the Baron and Brother Richard.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll try another persistent damage with it as well if I am successful.
Sure. You are definitely successful. And so you were not going for damaging, you were going for persistent damage.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, that definitely is effective. It doesn't clear it by enough to get potent though. But yeah, it is now your flames are starting to flare up. So, and you got okay. It is the Baron's turn. He'll continue to slice away at this thing. Why are my NPCs against my NPCs rolling well, and not my NPCs versus my players rolling well?
You know what? We're perfectly okay with that. You can continue. This is fine.
All right. Yeah, that is enough to just... this thing gets shredded, basically. And he raises his sword exuberantly. Ha-ha! Glamis.
Lomus is going to try and gore this sand thing.
Excellent. Not quite enough. It kind of digs into some of the sand and sends sand flying, but maybe Luthka, you noticed that the sand it sent flying was the sand at the feet rather than the sand that this creature is made up of. Talia. Two of the creatures seem to be quelled. You might be muted.
Yep, I was. Energy seems to be working okay. So she's going to continue her attacks with energy. She's going to switch to the other one that is still alive. Once more, those ribbons roll up, and nothing.
Yeah, not just shy of what's needed. The creature, and describe your energy attack. What does it look like? Is it like more of a beam, or is it a...
It's like almost like a beam, only with a normal beam, you think of just like a strip of light coming from the hands, or like a round circular whatever beam of light.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like an individual ribbon.
Okay.
All of her magic looks like ribbons coming out of her, just ribbons of light. So it kind of swirls around and then dissipates as it goes around.
Yeah, so these ribbons of light like weave around Glamis and Luthka, and they look like they're about to hit the creature, but the way that the sand is shifting in the creature, they just all happen to just barely miss striking anything of substance. And Roach, you watch these ribbons pass right by you as well, as this last remaining creature roars intimidatingly.
Your description of the ribbons actually reminds me a little bit of like the inside of a marble.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Psych myself up. Gotta do it with the lamb pig. I silently run forward. I'm gonna try to chip this thing inside.
Okay.
As I do like a drive-by. This time, I'm going to try to just put everything in one precise
Strike.
strike. Yeah. Is he down or anything like that? Is he prone or
No, he's standing up.
okay?
He's back up. But he does have -3 guard versus you, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you kind of go to try and slice, and some of the sand just kind of falls on its own before you get there, and you miss striking anything of substance, unfortunately.
Luthka here is just a very quiet. I hate things that don't bleed. And then she's gonna jump back.
Brother Richard. Let's see. How close is this thing? I think what Brother Richard is going to do, seeing Luthka fighting, he's going to kind of lit down his mace for a second and hold his symbol out towards you, Luthka. And he is going to attempt to bolster you. Which he definitely does. You have advantage 2 to. He's seen you use your might to attack, so he's bolstering your might basically. So you've got advantage 2, and it is your turn. So you kind of feel this empowering energy sweep through you.
Yeah, I try to just grip this thing up.
And you do feel effective for sure. Perhaps if you had not had that advantage, that energy pulsing through you, you might have missed this, but it seems to help direct your hand a little bit to still manage to strike. Did you want to move at all?
I mean, there's not really anything for me to get out of the way of.
No, not really. Yeah, Talia missed, so it's going to just try and hit you, Luthka, because you were the only one that attacked it this turn. Or, well, you're right in front of it, anyways. So it tries to do a... I need to start rolling the Baron's rolls for this creature's rolls clearly. It does not effectively hit you with that additional swirling shield going about you. Orion.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and try to gang up on the last remaining sand person. So. Having trouble moving my guy.
Do you have the measure tool selected instead of the arrow tool?
I don't. No, I'm selecting it right there. He goes. Okay. So I'm move him right there and just try to straight forward energy attack.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, your energy this time, it feels like you need to grow in your dragon ways a little bit more to be more effective with this this breath weapon as you
It's a little flame. It's getting snuffed out
Yeah.
by the sand.
Yeah, like as you open your mouth, maybe you inhale some sand and it causes you to cough a little bit. Let's see. Where can the Baron? Well, he can get 30 feet right to there. Low. Okay. Actually, yeah, that didn't do that much in this case. Haha. So he kind of slices a little bit, but again, his finesse movements are just not as effective against this very loose creature. Glamis. Are you there, Time Bus? You might be muted.
Right, yeah, I keep forgetting that Glommas also refers to me. Yeah, just go on goring, I guess.
Snorting at its anger of not hitting it before.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, the sand creature is far less substance as the tusks just gore into the sand and send the sand flying out from it. It actually takes quite a bit there. Oops. So it's barely hanging on there as the sand seems to just start dripping from its form. It's having trouble holding itself together. Talia, you see this. You see its form starting to want to separate.
Oh yeah, well I'm going to do my best to separate it. She sends out another blast of energy. Seems to be the most effective offensive weapon she has. She's not really a fighter, so it's just kind of like a one-trick pony here.
Right.
All right, nothing.
Yeah, not. It's just you're just
Actually,
not quite.
Since I'm not using a minor action or anything like that,
You want to do a
how
focus
would
action?
I?
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
basically get additional advantage, and if you were sustaining a boon, you'd lose that, but you're not doing that in this case. So just roll another d8, and if you get a 4 or higher, you'll actually connect with the creature.
Exploding or not?
Yes, it explodes.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, you're able to connect, and yeah, your ribbons. Well, describe to me what your ribbons do to completely get rid of the remaining sand on this creature.
So as Talia shoots out the ribbon this time, as it passes over Luthka and Glamis, it separates out into multiple strands and just weaves itself through the sand, breaking it up as the creature kind of falls into bits and the sand disconnects.
Excellent.
And then when it's done, it's a t-shirt.
And we are right at stopping time, so that is where we'll end the session with these ribbons of energy and light shredding the last remaining sand as everybody's breathing heavy from the exhilaration of combat. Your first fight as a full unit with these 2 additional NPCs at your side, and yeah, so we'll go ahead and give some shout outs and then some outros here. Let me get the music off. All right. So, first of all, we want to, thank everybody, all our viewers that are here today. Thanks for coming by and watching. It was a fun session. Gotta get a little bit further. Just barely stepping foot into the Valley of the Ancients. So thanks to all of our Patreon and Twitch subscribers. You guys help keep the Greyhawk channel going so that shows like this can happen where we get to explore the Dungeon and Dragons world of Greyhawk, specifically Blackmoor. It's kind of fun. As soon as I saw these, I heard that Blackmoor wasn't being explored much yet. I kind of read the modules and I went ahead and bought the PDFs for all 4 of the original Blackmoor setting modules to kind of start going through them. So City of Gods definitely seemed interesting, and because of the Patreon supporters and Twitch subscribers, you guys made it so that it's possible for me to do this show. So thanks for that. Definitely I encourage all the viewers to swing by the Discord. Anybody can go to the Discord, but if you happen to be a patron or a Twitch subscriber, you get access to a few more channels, which happens to include codes for Rue Ink and Cantrip Candles, both awesome creators and crafters of their various skills. Cantrip Candles, you can get a huge assortment of candles, some in the background there. They smell good. I got one too. I actually need to remember to bring it over here. I've got the book smelling one or whatever, the library. I forget what that one's called.
Scriptorium?
Yeah.
Scriptorium? That's that one right there.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the one I got. Smells good. I've heard the bread one smells amazing though. And then Rue Inc. is a cartographer. She is awesome. Makes some amazing maps, and even has some tutorials that you can go through to learn how to do some of the stuff as well. Let me bring up my list so I don't forget anybody. We also are supported by Roll20, which is what we use to do all our rolls here today, as well as the maps. And I thought I had a sand map ready, but apparently I didn't. So that's woe is me. But speaking about maps, you can do heroic maps on Drive-Thru RPG. They have tons of awesome maps available, over like 300 maps there to create any battle map you need. So highly recommend them. As I frantically scroll through the PDF there we go. All right. And tabletop loot. So if you guys like dice, who doesn't like dice? On tabletop loot, you guys can enter the coupon code Greyhawk, GREYHAWK. The G and the H are capitalized. So if you enter that coupon into the code box, you can get 15% off your dice order. So just thanks to all those, and to our viewers, I'll let the players today give out their shout outs. We'll start in reverse order with Orion.
Hi everybody, I played Orion, the Golden Dragonborn Paladin today. My real name is Derek Sword. Yes, that is my real last name. Yes, it is awesome. No, you can't have it. You can find me on Twitter at dsword16. I post about RPGs, dogs, traveling, fun stuff. And sorry about my dogs today. They are sometimes assholes. But this was a great game. Looking forward to seeing all you guys next week.
And Roach.
I am Casey, KCH on social media. I just want to say, Derek, I love your dogs. Don't ever apologize for them. They are a miracle of life. And if you liked what you saw here, you can also catch me over on the Gratuitous RP channel tonight at 9 p.m. for the World of Corin. And then I'm back here on Friday at 5 p.m. for the Old Faith, and then back to Gratuitous RP on Sunday starting at 6 p.m., where I am playing Nos the Angelic Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin goodness. And Luthka.
Hi, my name is Belial Leica. You can find me on Twitter at Timebusts. I think it's here in the overlay. I don't post much, but you know, that is the place to find me.
Awesome. And Talia.
Hello. I played Talia today, the tiny little high elf arcane historian. But I am actually Eris Savad. You can find me on Twitter, where I'm extremely active. Not as much this week, but yeah, at Eris_Savad, just like down there. I make dice trays and all sorts of fabric goods, and I also play a lot of RPGs. Tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, you can catch me on Little Red Dot's channel playing Witch Girls. It's actually our season finale. We've got a giveaway going. There's a bunch of stuff going on right now, including a dice tray that I made. It's the first patchwork dice tray that I've ever seen. So that's the thing that's going to be given away today.
Very cool.
Yeah, you can just go to my Twitter, check it out. There's a bunch of stuff going on. It's fun.
And I am Great Mustache. I don't know how I came up with that handle, but you can find me on Twitter at great_mustache. I do stream on Twitch at The Great Mustache, where I'll sometimes do some additional Open Legend games, or even do some walkthroughs with NPC building or encounter building on occasion. I do a lot of traveling though, so it's intermittent at times. So Greyhawk channel, like I said, you guys allow a lot. So here's the schedule for the summer. You can see that here in about an hour and a half. Savage Tide is coming on. Or wait, no, it's 12. So in about 40 minutes. 40, 50 minutes here. Savage Tide will be coming on, so you guys can watch them and catch them in all their goodness. And yeah, thanks for stopping by. Adios.